Have you ever looked at highly successful people and wondered what their secret is? We live in a world that constantly sells us the illusion of overnight success and instant wealth. You might feel incredibly overwhelmed by the massive gap between where you are and where you want to be. When a goal looks entirely too big, your brain panics, paralyzing you with fear and extreme procrastination. You end up waiting for the perfect time, the perfect motivation, or a massive stroke of luck. But the absolute truth is that success is never a giant, dramatic leap forward. It is the quiet, invisible result of tiny, boring habits repeated daily over a long period of time. In a distant, forgotten valley there lived two young friends named Elian and Taro. Their small village was terribly poor, entirely cut off from the wealthy trading city by a massive stone mountain. Both young men desperately wanted to escape poverty and bring immense wealth back to their struggling families. Taro was incredibly ambitious, always drawing massive blueprints and talking loudly about his grand visions. He swore that one day he would save enough gold to hire 100 men with explosive powder to blast the mountain apart. He spent all of his time sitting in the tavern, pitching his massive revolutionary idea to anyone who would listen. Elian, on the other hand, was a quiet, observant man who knew he had absolutely no money to hire a crew. He realized that waiting for a miracle would only guarantee that he died a poor and bitter man. So early one Monday morning, Elian bought a single iron pickaxe and a sturdy wooden wheelbarrow. Before the sun even began to rise, he walked up to the towering mountain and started chipping away at the solid rock. He made a quiet, unbreakable promise to himself that he would not try to conquer the entire mountain at once. His only goal was to fill exactly one single wheelbarrow with broken rocks every morning before his regular work began. When Taro saw Elian sweating in the dirt, he burst into a loud, mocking fit of laughter. "Are you completely out of your mind?" Taro shouted, pointing at the massive, impossible stone wall. "One wheelbarrow a day will take you 100 years. You are completely wasting your precious time." Elian did not argue. He simply smiled, dumped his wheelbarrow into the valley, and went to his daily job. The first few weeks were incredibly painful, as Elian's hands developed thick, bleeding blisters from the heavy iron tool. There were freezing, rainy mornings when his warm bed begged him to stay inside and skip just one single day. But Elian understood that if he broke his small promise to himself once, he would easily break it again. Discipline is not about feeling motivated. It is about acting according to your commitments, regardless of your feelings. By the 6th month, a very strange and powerful psychological shift happened inside Elian's brain. He no longer had to force himself out of bed. His body naturally woke up before the morning birds began to sing. The heavy pickaxe felt completely light in his calloused hands, and the work became an automatic, peaceful meditation. Meanwhile, Taro was growing increasingly frustrated and bitter with his own lack of actual progress. He had tried a dozen different get-rich-quick schemes, abandoning each one the moment it became difficult. He constantly complained that the universe was unfair, blaming his bad luck on the harsh economy and the wealthy city. 3 long years passed, and to the casual observer it seemed like Elian was barely making a dent in the mountain. But deep inside the dark rock, a wide, smooth tunnel was steadily and quietly carving its way through the earth. On the morning of the 5th year, Elian swung his pickaxe. and a blinding ray of pure sunlight burst through the stone. He dropped his heavy tool, breathing heavily, and stared at the beautiful, sprawling trading city waiting right in front of him. He had done the absolutely impossible. He had broken completely through the mountain, using nothing but his own 2 hands. Within just a few weeks, Elian widened the exit, creating a perfect, safe road for the village merchants to travel. Because he owned the only direct path to the city, every wealthy trader gladly paid Elian a small toll to use his tunnel. Almost overnight, Elian became the wealthiest and most highly respected man in the entire region. He built a beautiful home for his family, entirely changing the destiny of his bloodline forever. One evening, Taro knocked on Elian's large wooden door, looking incredibly tired, poor, and deeply defeated. Taro looked at the beautiful house and asked, "How did you suddenly get so lucky and achieve such massive success?" Elian poured his old friend a cup of warm tea and looked at him with gentle, understanding eyes. "There was absolutely no luck involved, my friend," Elian replied with a calm, steady voice. "You spent 5 years waiting for a giant miracle, while I spent 5 years moving a single wheelbarrow of dirt. I did not focus on the massive mountain. I only focused on the small rock directly in front of my face." This powerful story reveals the ultimate hidden secret of human achievement and lifelong success. When you look at a massive goal like losing 50 pounds, writing a book, or starting a business, you will freeze. Your brain perceives the massive effort as a threat to your current comfort, and it will flood you with brilliant excuses. The only way to bypass this mental trap is to shrink your goal down until it is so incredibly small that you cannot fail. Do not try to read 50 books this year. Just commit to reading exactly 2 pages every single night before sleep. Do not try to run a massive marathon tomorrow. Just commit to putting on your running shoes and walking to the end of your street. These tiny, seemingly insignificant habits feel absolutely useless in the beginning, which is exactly why most people quit. We are incredibly impatient creatures, demanding immediate rewards for our first few days of hard work. But the universe only rewards radical consistency, and the magic happens when you push through the boring phases. Small habits compound over time, just like financial interest growing quietly in a forgotten bank account. A 1% improvement every single day makes you 37 times better by the end of a single year. Think about the massive mountains currently standing in the way of your own personal happiness and financial freedom. Are you acting like Taro, constantly talking about your dreams but refusing to do the boring daily work required? Are you jumping from one exciting idea to another, desperately looking for a shortcut that does not actually exist? Stop looking for the secret explosive powder and simply pick up the iron pickaxe today. Success is not an event that suddenly happens to you. It is a long, quiet process that you slowly become. Motivation is a temporary spark that burns out the moment it starts heavily raining outside. Discipline is the steady, burning engine that completely ignores the weather and forces you to take one more step. You must learn to fall entirely in love with the extreme boredom of doing the exact same right thing every single day. When you master your daily habits, you automatically master your entire future without even realizing it. The people who eventually win in life are not always the smartest, the richest, or the most naturally talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit when the process stopped being fun and exciting. So ask yourself right now, what is your daily wheelbarrow? And what is the one habit you are currently avoiding? Identify the smallest, most actionable step you can take right now, and promise yourself you will do it tomorrow morning. Do it when you are tired, do it when you are sad, and do it when nobody is clapping for your progress. The heavy mountain of your struggles will not disappear immediately, and the work will certainly be painful at first. But if you keep chipping away, a beautiful ray of light will eventually break entirely through the dark stone. You have incredible greatness buried inside of you, patiently waiting for your daily discipline to finally set it free. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to arrive, because the perfect moment is a lie created by your own fear. Start small, start imperfectly, but make sure that you start today without any further hesitation. Your incredible future is actively being built by the tiny and visible choices you are making in this exact moment. Embrace the power of the small habit, and you will eventually conquer mountains you once thought were entirely impossible. Remember that every master was once a complete disaster, and every giant oak tree was once a tiny, buried seed. Keep your head down, focus entirely on the present work, and let the compounding time do the heavy lifting for you. You do not need a completely new life. You just need a new set of daily routines to replace your old excuses. Take absolute control of your morning, win the small daily battles, and the massive war will be won automatically. One single step, one single page, one single wheelbarrow. This is the true, undeniable formula for greatness. Your potential is absolutely limitless, but it requires your daily signature to actually be activated. Make the unbreakable commitment today and completely shock yourself with what you can build in a single year. Trust the slow process, protect your new habits fiercely, and never let short-term failure destroy your long-term vision. You are building an incredible road to your own freedom, and the entire world will soon marvel at your massive creation. The pickaxe is completely in your hands right now, so take a deep breath and take that very first swing. Change your small habits today, and I promise you, you will completely change the entire trajectory of your life forever. Stop waiting, stop talking, and start moving the heavy dirt right now. Success is waiting for you on the other side of your daily discipline. Let the tiny actions of today build the legendary masterpiece of your tomorrow.